the Head of Science and Technology Division, Dr. Alexander Lim, to the stage. Please welcome Dr. Alex.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alex Lim with the ASEAN Secretariat Science and Technology Division. I must confess that I'm not comfortable delivering welcome or opening addresses. I believe these should be reserved for high-ranking officials, just like Dr. Piche, Dr. Ingo. I'm just an ordinary officer of the ASEAN Secretariat. But I could not say no to Dr. Lambay and Bert Kadura. Cannot say no to Dr. Piche and Dr. Kanchana because they are my friends. So I have to prepare a 40-page welcome remark, printed back to back with font size 10. Don't worry. I have used many references in preparing this welcome remark. Firstly, I have this strengthened innovation system prepared by Dr. Lambay and Bernard Kadura. I also have this spotlight S&T cooperation between Southeast Asia and Europe, edited by my namesake, Dr. Alex Degerflecker. And I also refer to the recent report on the study of state of S&T development in ASEAN, prepared by Dr. Warcito. I have referred to many documents to say my opening remarks. But don't worry, it's not 40 pages, it's only this much. On August 8th this year, that will be next month, ASEAN will be celebrating another milestone. It's not because Roger Federer will turn 31 years old next month. It's because ASEAN will be 45 years old. ASEAN is celebrating its 45th anniversary on August 8th next month. And ASEAN, I'm very proud to be part of ASEAN. ASEAN has become a very dynamic, very attractive, and very resilient region in the world. That is why our Secretary General, Dr. Surin Chuan, in many fora that he attended, he was very proud to declare that there is now one less region for the world to worry about because ASEAN is a very, very dynamic region. Now, many of you may not have been born when ASEAN was established in 1967, August 8, 1967. ASEAN then was composed of 5 countries. These are Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. 5 countries. When ASEAN was established that time, they had already recognized science and technology as an important sector that they need to operate on. That is why in 1970, 3 years after ASEAN was established, ASEAN has established an ad hoc Committee on Science and Technology. This ad hoc Committee on Science and Technology was converted to a permanent Committee on Science and Technology in 1971. This permanent Committee on Science and Technology became the ASEAN Committee on Science and Technology in 1977. The first meeting of the ASEAN COS is the Committee on Science and Technology. The first meeting happened in June 1978. Brunei Darussalam joined ASEAN in 1984. Vietnam joined COS in 1995. Laos PDR and Myanmar joined ASEAN in 1997. And finally, Cambodia joined ASEAN in 1999. So this, I just took you back in time to inform you how regional cooperation S&T evolved. The Committee on Science and Technology met for the first time as an ASEAN 10, as a grouping of 10 ASEAN countries in 1999 in Singapore. Now, for the past decades, the cooperation in S&T in the region, this cooperation has been guided by a document. We call this the ASEAN Plan of Action on S&T, ASEAN Plan of Action on S&T, APAS. We have had a number of APAS. The first APAS was formulated in 1981. And I have looked at this past document, trying to find the word innovation, because our conference is about innovation. And whether you like it or not, you cannot dissociate science and technology and innovation. But for ASEAN, for many, many decades, they have dealt and they have concentrated on science and technology, although innovation is mentioned in this document. I have mentioned to you earlier that ASEAN has become a very dynamic and attractive region. I cannot provide you with enough evidence that can show that S&T must have something to do with this dynamism in ASEAN. But let me show you some figures. ASEAN in figures. We have 10 ASEAN member countries, from Brunei to Vietnam. You will know that in terms of population, Indonesia is the most productive. They have 230 million people. Singapore is the smallest country, but you will know that Singapore has captured the most foreign direct investment at 35 billion. These are figures obtained for the year 2010. The figures for 2011 will be released soon. As I was saying, ASEAN has been cooperating in science and technology, but in recent years, they have acknowledged, they have recognized that ASEAN must innovate, as the slogan saying goes, you either have to innovate or you die. That is why we are very, very thankful that Thailand has been very, very persistent, I would say persistent. And thanks to Dr. Pichel, we have the APAS. The current ASEAN Plan of Action on S&T was for 2007 to 2011. It has been extended to 2015. But the ministers agreed that to extend the APAS to 2015, taking into account the Krabi Initiative. What is the Krabi Initiative? I must admit that the National S&T and Innovation Policy Office of Thailand has been the key proponent of this Krabi Initiative. This is the Krabi Initiative. For those of you who are not familiar with the Krabi Initiative, everything that we do for the next 3 days will have to be in this direction, or else you will not be served lunch. You have to work hard because we have to come up with something important for this exercise. Now, science, technology, and innovation. Innovation is now given equal importance as they have given importance to S&T for many, many years. And you will know that the theme, SPI, for a competitive, sustainable, and inclusive ASEAN. Inclusive ASEAN meaning no ASEAN country will be left behind, because ASEAN subscribes to the principle of prospering thy neighbor. ASEAN help ASEAN. Singapore may be very, very developed, but Singapore is always there to provide assistance in building capacity of the least developed countries in ASEAN. Now, each of the 10 ASEAN member states have implemented various initiatives to improve their global competitiveness. Some have established their own national innovation systems, And for your information, many of the experts present in this conference, they have helped many countries in ASEAN in developing their national innovation systems. Now, talking about competitiveness, allow me to share with you the competitiveness of ASEAN member states according to the recent Global Competitiveness Report released by the World Economic